People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in as usual. In regards to Vontae Daley-Campbell, we know he signed for Leicester, or I hope by now you've seen my latest video where I've spoken about it. I must admit, people, I've known for a decent amount of time, but I can't speak. For me, it's a good move for him. Now, I know for a fact he rejected Leipzig, who's it's in the public they've been chasing him, as have the German clubs been chasing a lot of our young players. The gift and the curse for a lot of our young players is that, apologies people, like an idiot, I didn't close my door, so you are gonna hear the wind. But the gift and the curse for English players and English clubs is that German clubs are getting their revenge. They're seeing how much English players can be developed, can be sold on in the future. Not just English clubs, you're seeing the Dutch do it as well. So it's a gift and a curse. You either play them or don't, because it's documented. You go to any Arsenal game, there's 30, 40 more scouts, German-based scouts, not just us, but elsewhere. The Tyrese John Juleses, the Amichis, the Sakas, the Balligans, every player, people, they know, because they know there's value to be had in terms of young players not being given chances in England. But for whatever reason, in fact, people, one sec, man, it's bugging me, 1 second. Oh, I'm way too fat. I am way too fat. That was a tight squeeze. Whoa. As you lot can see, tight squeeze. Need to lay off the jerk chicken. It's Sunday today as well. Guess I won't be having seconds. But yeah, Fatty's back. Yeah. So it's a gift and a curse, man. So if I'm a young player at Arsenal, just to humour the club I support, I'm trying everything I can do to make it at Arsenal, and stuff like that. But I'm going to have an ear open because there's some good projects. Again, not everyone can be Jadon Sancho, because they tell you Jadon Sancho is the poster boy of going abroad and obviously hasn't returned to England, but coming back a better player. There's many players that have failed in that aspect, or it hasn't gone to plan. And that's how football works. That's not a dig at them or anything. I just feel, whether it's scouts, whether it's players in life, people only talk about the success stories. They don't talk about everything, and it can't provide balance. But anyways, he's rejected Leipzig. He had interest from Napoli as well. He had interest from a lot of clubs, but they're the ones that I feel to speak about the most, because how many young players are linked with Napoli as well? So he could have gone to Italy. As we all know, Italy is the university of defending. He could have gone to Leipzig with all the Germany stuff, but he's staying at Leicester now. From what I hear, Leicester fans are more knowledgeable than me, but you have a new training ground or training facilities being built within the next year or whatnot. So that's some, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, it's not important, but if you're moving to a club, developing their facilities, you obviously can take advantage of them. Obviously, he's been at Arsenal not to blow our own trumpet, so he's probably not fazed by that. But there's that. Apparently, Brendan Rodgers really likes him, so there's the scope of possibly being included in the match day, in the League Cup. All of these sort of things young players should aspire for. Currently, if you look at it, people, he signed a 3-year deal, so he didn't get a pro deal at Arsenal. He's 18 now, so that will take him to 20, 21 years of age. In that time, he can develop and things like that. And in that time, you'd think he's either gone out on loan and played football or been kicked onto the first team. Because I do think Leicester, from what I hear, have got a decent little plan in place for him. Obviously, yesterday we saw them sign another fullback, James Justin, a player I've made a video on. Plays for Luton Town. Again, another good academy. They've gained promotion to the Championship, forgive me if I'm wrong, and he's moved to Leicester. Obviously, he's still inexperienced and things like that, but he can play as a fullback, and you'd wonder right now he's probably going to be the backup fullback. If he earns the first team spot, then cool, but you'd imagine he's going to be the backup. Like I said, he's still young. Pereira's quite a good fullback. It could get interested if you believe reports he's linked to Juventus, so Leicester probably know the day will come when we sell Pereira, and it'll be decent to have Vontae and James Justin, 2 English players in the first team at fullback. And again, because of the way the game is now, Chilwell came through their academy and they're quoting teams 50 million. James Justin obviously came from Luton, but they can make a tidy profit. And if Vontae develops to the level I know he can, I think he can be a Premier League footballer, people. So right now there's probably two right backs ahead of him, but he's 18. Immediately, all he needs to do now is go and kick on to 23's football, because he wasn't given a taste of it at Arsenal. Nail that down. Make sure you're playing consistently week in, week out, and you're earning that shot, and the rest will fall into place, people. Obviously, if he's picked Leicester, they're the ones that have convinced him the most, whether that was a tailored package, which I do believe they have a pathway for him, or a sort of development program to enable him to reach the highest of levels. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, it's a bitter pill to swallow. I can't understand why he wasn't rated at Arsenal and things like that. Again, people within the circle and the club will know, but at 23's football, I'm seeing Oli Inca playing right back. Realistically, he hasn't got a future at Arsenal within that position. I don't even think he has a future here. And I hold my hands up if I'm wrong. I just don't think he'll make it here. Osei Tutu's gone out on loan as well. You've got Zach Swanson, who done his thing for the 18s at left back. Probably going to play at right back predominantly next season, or even on the left hand side. Can play in a couple of positions. But I've just said about 2-3 names that they're not out and out natural fullbacks, and if they're preferred to Vontae at that level, then rightly or wrongly he has to keep it moving, people, really and truly. So you've got 2 stopgaps at fullback. Realistically, you've got Tutu gone out on loan to go and play football and things and develop. It does leave 23's a bit weak at right back, and to be fair, you'd wonder if they did rate Vontae and he did sign a new deal, there'd be a pathway here, people. I do believe every academy has to. I'm not saying Vontae's Trent Arnold's. What I mean by that is, these sort of positions, fullbacks and things like that. I believe academies should be bringing these sort of players. You should have a couple of them, a decent couple fullbacks from your academy, a 1-2 utility sort of man. Not everyone's got to be the Reece Nelsons, the Mason Mounts and Loftus Cheeks and stuff like that. Some people, I believe, should be shrewd additions to the from the academy that could save us a lot. For instance, I want a right back if we can sort out, if in an ideal world, if we could get every area, I would like a right back. How much are fullbacks costing you? Obviously, if you do the scouting thing, you can get a deal. But 9 times out of 10, how much are fullbacks costing you, people? If Trent Arnold wasn't at Liverpool, how much is Trent Arnold costing Liverpool to bring to the clubs? You see what I'm saying, people? Left back as well. Hopefully, Joel Lopez in a couple of years can develop and be the player I believe he can be at left back and save us some peace. Because not everyone can be Reece Nelson and these 6 strikers and Rashford and things like that. I do believe should be bringing through a couple of these sort of men through the academy. When one door closes, another one opens. So all I can say to Vontae is to just do your best, just prove Arsenal wrong in a couple of years. Try and get to that level where people are like, oh, he was at Arsenal. What was Emre doing? Or what was Mertesacker doing in the academy? Like, why did you let him go, sort of thing? So yeah, the right back spot, general comment like I was alluding to at 23's does not concern me, but I'm keen to see what happens because Tutu's gone out on loan to kick on. Vontae didn't get a look in at this level. You've got 2 probably stopgap signings at best. Jenkinson will probably be moved on as well, but if he's not, he'll probably play 23's football or bulk of it. So I do see some gaps appearing. I do think Vontae, they've got a calm addition because when the time comes to sell Pereira because of the form he's been in and things like that, or whatever he wants to do if he retires or whatever, you've got 2 homegrown fullbacks really and truly. And with the dynamic of football, Leicester can make profit on both. With just immediate first team, they can both aspire to do that. Clearly, James Justin for playing in the Championship is ahead of Vontae. So unless I'm excluded any fullbacks, I think Danny Simpson's been released. He'll be third choice in the sense that he's behind 2 of the first choice fullbacks. But if he nails his thing down, who knows where he can go, people. For now, like I said, man, Vontae, go as far as you possibly can. I've enjoyed you at this club. I've enjoyed how you play, how you defend. Like I said, he's positively rough around the edges. He's got that real South London mentality mixed with the humbleness and the Arsenal stuff. Very good going forward, decent defensively, rough around several edges. Obviously, with his age and inexperience, I do see things he can improve. The one for me as well, probably as much as I like him, not to give certain fouls away in dangerous areas. Because if we look at Arsenal versus Spurs at 18's level, I remember it because I was there, gave away a foul in the 45th or so minute. A ball came in from Spurs and they scored. That happens at first team level. Fingers are pointed, people. Do you get it? Now, if you notice with the Vontaes, with the Bieliks, with the Mavropanos, with all of these things, if you lot watch me religiously, I say the same things. I say different things for them to develop, but 9 times out of 10, it's the same thing. Football is an easy game complicated by idiots. At the end of the day, it's 22 men on the football pitch. Whatever team has scored the most goals when the 90 minutes is up wins, people. Football is a simple game complicated by idiots. The hardest thing to do, ironically, is to play simple football. But like I said, man, credit to him. First and foremost, I'm happy for Vontae because, again, for all his potential and things, it probably doesn't apply to him. But a lot of young players are going to have a test in summer. A lot of them are going to be trialing. A lot of them are not going to get trials. A lot of them are going to be aimlessly, anxiously waiting through the phone, hoping for a call. Guys are going to be in pure gym, doing their own workouts, Power League, doing their own workouts. It's a tough time, people. And as Vontae probably knows, and all these academy players, they've seen their boys get released. They've seen, man, they probably played at Arsenal from 6 years of age. He has to go the college route or whatnot because football right now isn't looking good for him. He might do the non-league Vardy sort of thing, but you get it, people. Football is a lonely world, and I'd say it's always getting real. I'd say from 14 years of age it starts getting real. I'd say from under 16s it's really real because he obviously signed a 2-year scholarship, and that's the stage that Vontae technically is at. I mean, he's not a second-year scholar anymore. He technically moved to 23s, but he's completed his scholarship. Let's just say there was no other football clubs in the world and Arsenal was going to release him, he wouldn't have a club, people. So you can see how tough it is for the thousands of young players out there. Not everybody can make it. The statistics are there for the mandem that sign scholars at 18 years of age. How many are out of the game by 21, 24 is tough. So they're up against it. So first and foremost, for me, I'm happy that Vontae can deal with just looking forward to training with his new club and returning to football, and he can just have his holidays off period and not wanting to worry about certain things, because that is one footballers have to deal with being released. But there is a lot of pressures, and I don't feel necessarily people speak about the mental aspects for that, because could you imagine you're a young player, you don't control the hype over you, but random are saying you can be this, that, and the third. You get released by a club. Everyone's going to be the same people that were gassing you. Are the same people that are going to say, "Oh, why did he get released? Must not be no good then, blah 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 XYZ." And mentally, because you're not where you're at, it's gonna play a part. Football is a very mental game, people, and I don't feel people speak about it enough. I feel people can comprehend the mental aspects, but I think they truly don't get it, people, really and truly. But credit to Vontae, man. I'm happy you found a club, a Premier League club. Brendan Rodgers is a fantastic coach. If you work hard, the world's your oyster. Like I said, man, he's got a 3-year deal, so he's going to be there until 2021. In that time, you'd like to think he'd be of made an appearance or kicking on in terms of advancing his career, his young career then. And he'd still be a young man. I mean, he would have had a formal education at Arsenal. He's gone to Leicester under Rodgers, who is a good coach. Who knows what other... There might even be a new manager that comes in. There might be different twists and turns. We'll see what happens, man. For now, people, I'm going to get out of here. Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking as usual.